All right, ladies and gents, here we are on Thursday, the 5th of August, 2021. Spy, he's our guy. Spy, all-time highs. Oh my gosh, this was fun to watch into the close. It was just like, come on, we need 20 more sets, baby. You could do it. Oh, sure enough, it did. It's not really like it's that monumental because we're getting new all-time highs every single day, but it was just funny to watch it perk so hard into the close. Market internals on the day today. NASDAQ, 200 billion total dollar volume. NYSE, 228 billion. OTCs, 2.4 billion total dollar volume. No other real trades for me today. I had $23 down day, I think it was. Just a few good setups, like one good trade on FLGC, but really nothing. No great morning dump short setups happening in the pre-market. Nothing really catching my eye as far as dip and rip type of setup or big mover to play to the upside as a long. Just kind of another day to continue test my will and power to stay patient, stay focused and motivated on what I know, what I think can happen, what I feel I do best or trade best, what fits my personality. And this morning was definitely not it. And I, after chopping myself in and out on a bunch of different tickers, just taking extremely minuscule paper cuts, I just shut it down, said, this is not doing me well to learn from, and this is not doing me any good to try and sit here and say I'm learning from it. It's just so choppy. The first one, and even like the red names in chat, not a lot of activity from them today either. Just a slow day. So starting off with BYSI from yesterday, great mover, held decently. I mean, the short in the morning, again, in hindsight, 2020, but held decently throughout the day. Not like it was dead, but didn't look. Let's show this picture a little bit better. So it wasn't like it was dead, but yes, you could say it was looking good too. It kind of died off right after the closing bell, but then came right back and it was holding levels and closed very, very well at the after hours close. And then just really no volume continuation. And the open of the pre-market today started falling off, was holding under VWAP the whole pre-market, and then just big sell-off right away in the first few minute candles. So yeah, kind of frustrating to see no follow through on that one. Great to see that it was moving big yesterday. But God, we really want to see these just continue to push, like 3, 4, 5 days of run up. We just want to see craziness again, right? Go back to those 2020 days, but not so much today. So really nothing falling through on that one. There was a little bit of a, call this a triangle in the morning here for the price action that was putting in a little bit of higher lows, but then ended up breaking that. And then like close to the market bell, it was spiking a little bit, which was, I was like, ooh, this could actually be interesting in market hours, but just ended up fading and dying off. So kind of disappointing. $267 million volume today though on that one still. So interesting price action. And then other just movers. Watching this, these were on the mover scanner in the pre-market that ended up just fading again. METX, the fundamentals on this one, it's a Chinese education sector play. 42 million float, reported short interest of 5%. The news catalyst was launching adult overseas higher education services in the fall of 2021. Ooh, stupid. You could kind of fake out as a dip and rip, but really not that enticing otherwise for me to try and step in, especially when it's $30 million volume in total, which seems kind of pompous of me to say that. It's only $30 million volume today. But it's kind of proven that you need a little bit more at least, or we need something going on with the flow. We need something with the supply. Something's got to be different, or we've just got to learn how to deal with the scraps that we've been given now. And these types of tickers. HUSN, same thing. It was on the scanner. Looked like it was spiking. Came back to VWAP in the pre-market after this kind of double bottom. Tested this pre-market high, and then just shot suey in the morning session. If you're trying to go long this thing, if you're trying to go short this thing, either way, it's just nightmare city. These insane wiki candles, they're all red, of course, and then just pure dump right here at the 11:30 time frame. That was the nail in the coffin for the rest of the day. Just ugly. I don't even want to like mention these or keep talking about them. But Hood, Robinhood, coming off that big day yesterday, looked like it was pretty dumpy today, or this could be the kind of top for now. Of course, not a lot of data from its IPO, if you want to call it that. But it looks like today was the big sell-off day, so could see a little more down action coming into tomorrow, or if there wants to be more craziness, hope and a prayer, we could see more craziness. But today the trend was definitely to the downside. It was a little bit sketchy right away in the morning as it was trying to find its balance, trying to find its way, who was going to win the battle. But the ultimate trend was down. So I don't think you could have been really comfortable as a short until this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, as we're breaking this to make new lows a day from those morning lows, that's the only time you'd really be proven of your trend. Of course, that's just, everything here is just gravy on top. As if you're short, holding still from the morning. I'm so far from thinking I can trade it that type of way, but it's just what I'm noting, taking into consideration in the future when these big memers, the big attention plays, what type of trends do they like to follow? What type of price action? Is it more beneficial to say, hey, I'm kind of just waiting out. I'll let everybody else do their thing in the morning and just follow the trend where it wants to go in the afternoon? Because if it does this is so much less headache than trying to play this in the morning and then holding this all the way to the afternoon. That may be the type of play that we need to look at in the future. But so in total, 28% down day on that one today. The shares per trade, yesterday's average, 115 shares per trade on average, which was roughly like $7,200 per individual trade. And also, it was like over 1 million trades on yesterday's data, which is insane. I don't think I've ever seen it. 1.5 million trades yesterday on Robinhood. I don't think I've ever seen one since I've started looking at the trades data. I've never seen one over 1 million, which is pretty ludicrous. Today's data, 108 shares per trade on average, which was roughly like $6,500 that it averaged out to per trade. So a little bit of a downsize today per trade. Again, really, I have no data one way or another if that's a bad sign, if that's a good sign, if that's a short sign. Really don't know, just throwing it out there. CTRM was one that popped up on the morning dump scanner. This was an earnings play. It wasn't official earnings, but it was Castro Maritime reports 6.5 million net profit for 3 months ending in June 30th, blah, blah, blah. So it's unaudited. The fundamentals on this one, 70 million float, reported short interest of 6%. The overhead looked great as well too. Just totally dying off. Was 100% eyeing this one as a morning dump, but not like an A+ morning dump, just more as a, okay, we're up like 12% at a peak here. It went from 2 to 2.3. So we're not looking to make a home run swing here unless it wanted to dip, come all the way back below yesterday's trading close, which I doubted. So even as I was looking at this one, it wasn't insanely expensive to borrow shares through Trade Zero in this one. But it's just, yeah, at this point, I wasn't interested in it as a morning dump, as I would normally be looking for a VWAP crack as an entry signal for a short. I just kind of forgot about it, but was looking at this one later in market hours to see, hey, if we start holding these, like we're testing levels here, if we start holding or maybe picking tops here, I'd be maybe willing to use a day trade to just kind of start feeling around on these intraday market hour shorts, just playing this one for the downside because it's a terrible company. I mean, looking at the daily, yes, they had good earnings all around, but it's a terrible company. I mean, we're looking, in reality, this is a $1 stock. And trading of where it should be. Let's do that one. This should be all the way down at $1, especially from where it's come from. It's still just getting beat down to death. And I was surprised that it continued on well past all of these little attempts or little indecisions in my head of, ooh, this could be a top here, this could be a time to get short. I was thinking that around this area, or as we were pulling back, as we were getting another red candle here reject off that high day, I was thinking that could be another area to get short. As it was pulling back down again, we're getting dojis, hard red candles. I'm thinking, oh, this could be a top here. Could play it for, because if we're going from like 2.4, we got to be looking for 2.2 at a minimum, just for the sake of looking for actual meat on the bone as a trade. But man, continue to spike. Very, very curious to see. I'll keep an eye on it for tomorrow to see what it wants to do. If it does end up fading hard tomorrow, if it like no volume comes into the pre-market, I can see this thing fading. Not great, not just an immediate panic sell-off, but I could see some sell-off action from just whatever reason I wanted to decide to hold VWAP today, hold some good levels that end at 2.5 on the day. Very curious. RSLS, not RSLA. There we go. This one was another ticker out of the slim pickings that there was on the mover scanner, as I'm just like bored out of my head staring at the wall. I see this one and I kind of noticed, oh, hey, the float is 521,000. So we're up what, like 4.5 from 3.6 after yesterday's close. At this time frame, that's where I'm looking at it of, you know, as we're right here in the pre-market, I'm seeing, okay, we got a little base at the whole round number of $4. We're doing a little bit of a curl. So I was thinking maybe we get a little bit of, the news catalyst on this one was earnings. So again, it wasn't the most prominent type of pump news that would shove this thing as a short squeeze. But of course, a super low float always gets me interested that, hey, if there's a lack of supply, this could produce some nice volatility on the intraday at least. The daily, not great. But I wasn't looking at this as a great setup anyway to begin with. So I really took 100 shares at 4. I tried to get 410, and then I messed up on my order entry window and got filled at like 412 as it was continuing to set the limit order without me. I didn't lock in it at 410. So I got a stupid top wick fill at 412, and that just increased my loss by $2 as I got cut at, as we cracked 4, and then just really faded off the rest of the day. So no follow through there, no crazy low float action on that one, but that was the thesis on that trade. FLGC was a good one though. The morning squeeze crazy. I remember seeing it this day just go absolutely berserk in the afternoon, and was it a little bit before? Yeah, I feel like I remembered this ticker when I saw it pop up again on the mover scanner later in the day, or in the morning session, I should say. So putting in some nice amount of volume these days, still kind of on an uptrend. Again, tried to play it, just chopping myself in and out and being so degenerate of trying to play it for more squeeze. So I was taking like 10 share position size into this huge strength, thinking, oh, I could squeeze the 15. Oh, yeah, genius. And just cut it stupidly as it was just breaking down. I think it was this candle exactly that I was trying to play more to the upside and then stop myself out as it broke that candle low. Stupid trade, stupid thesis. But did smart trade, smart thesis on the second one as it curled back under VWAP, started putting in higher lows, rejecting as it was above VWAP, but still consolidating, pushing a little bit higher, testing these levels, and great just consolidation rubber band stretch here at this point. And stupid me again, I get a 1 share trade on. That was my thesis on this one of, well, I don't really regret it. I was chopping myself around and really told myself, man, I should not be trading at all with how choppy this whole market is. And that's the thesis that I came from, of taking like those 3 stupid losses in a row. Not trading, just kind of following what everybody else is doing, like a lost little puppy. You're just like, oh, that's green over there. Oh, my. But this was a good trade. This was a good little intraday breakout trade. That was a 10% opportunity. I think my exact entries on it, let's see if they'll show on this chart here. I did not sell it because it was a one share trade. So yeah, I started playing it around this point as it was pushing pretty well on the green side, and then it was dying off a little bit, but the trade wasn't over in my head. Still consolidating, holding this round number of 13. Not a huge, awesome round number, but still a round number of 13. Holding well, holding well, holding well, indecision, consolidation, and then big spike to 14.7 was 10% from these 13.37. So shoulda, coulda, woulda sold, or I would have certainly taken off like half of a position, a big position, had I had one, into this strength here, and then played the rest if it just want to continue or go crazy, maybe like it did on this day here, just kind of random continual spikes. But decided to fade off, came back under VWAP and closed pretty weak. Still green on the day, but I certainly don't really care about it anymore. And that's just all about I had today. Slow market, none of what I would consider my types of patterns or trades that I feel like have been showing themselves in the past weeks. It's not like I'm trying to trade or force myself to say, oh, I'm only doing VWAP hold trades, or I'm only looking for specific type of dip buy plays. It's not like I'm forcing myself to do that. It's just like, hey, I was trading the trades that I thought were showing themselves these past few weeks, but then just like August came around the corner and now nothing has really shown anything to the effect of that. Just very curious and interesting. I'm not discouraged by it at all. That's just what the market is meant to do, just continue to frustrate and irritate and get you into your emotions, which is everything I'm fighting as a trader. And that's why the goal is continually going to be with each and every single trade to have fun, stay loose, stay relaxed, and taking the ego out of the trade. And that's just how I got to remind myself each and every time, especially these slow days where really there are no trades for, in my opinion, of what I like to see. So yeah, lost my train of thought at the end, but thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys tomorrow.